Hello everyone, welcome back to another project for Not2Shabby Shop. Today I'm using the Bundle of Joy collection by Doodlebug. This is the Baby Girl collection. So I'm just going to flip through the papers here to show you all of these really sweet patterns. I love the color combination with the pink, green, yellow, and kind of this apricot color. So you do get 2 sheets of each of the patterns. And then I'm also going to use the Nursery Friends stamp set that is part of the Baby Girl. In addition, I'm bringing in the little baby stamp set. This is technically from the Baby Boy collection, and I did make 6 cards using this collection. If you missed it, I will link it at the end of this video and below. So these collections, there are still some of the items left in the Not2Shabby shop, but I would hurry if you're interested in them. And I will link all of the products down below. So we're getting started today with the coloring. For my little panda, I'm using C7, C5, and C3 for the black areas. Now for his eyes, I am adding the darkest color to the bottom so that you can still see the little black dots, as that's where I will have the lightest color. For the body, I'm actually only going to use the 2 darkest colors, the C7 and the C5, and then I bring in that C3 for a highlight at the top of the eyes and the tips of the ears. And I'm also using the C3 for the top of the hanger. For the white, I'm using C3, C1, and C0. So I just start with my darkest marker, adding in the shadows, and then blending that out with the midtone and then the lightest marker. Now the C0, when you see the little round caps, those are the Copic chow markers. I was able to get a few of those on clearance at Michael's for 99 cents. So while I prefer the Copic sketch markers, you can't pass up that deal. So you will be seeing a little bit more of those round lids that don't have the numbers on it, but I will show you the numbers and tell you them whenever I use them. So here's the C0. So I also colored the little bunny white. Now I did color a lot of images off screen while I was watching TV, and I also colored some of these little stuffies up in some colors. So I did a pink bunny and an apricot colored elephant, and I do use the pink bunny in this video, so you will see that. I'm just going ahead and coloring all the areas that I want to use these color combinations, so you can see me skipping around here. That little mobile is really sweet, and I'm going to color the cloud a white color. For my elephant, I'm going to color him in gray, so I'm still using the same 3 markers that I used for the white. I'm just going to bring in more of that C3 and the C1 and leaving less area for that highlight. So he's super cute. With a bigger area like this, I do like to go over the whole thing with my lightest marker. I just find it gives a smoother blend. I'm also going to add a little bit of pink to the inside of their ears. So I'm using R20 for that, and also for their little rosy cheeks. And I'll blend that out with the C1 and then the C0 as well. For their bellies, I'm just going to add a little bit of C1, and then I will blend that out with the colorless blender. So that will finish off all of the white, grays, and blacks. Next, I'm moving into my yellow color combination. So I'm using Y15 as my darkest, Y02 as the midtone, and then Y00 as the lightest. So I colored up the little ducky. I had the darkest shadows to his tail and bottom, and then the left side of his head there. For the moon, I'm just adding the darkest shade to the bottom and then to the sides of the sun. Now for the rainbow, you'll see I'm just going to use 1 marker for that for each of the color combinations, and I chose the mid-tone markers for all of those. So now I'm coloring the little frog here, which is super cute. For the body, I'm using YG25 as my darkest, YG03, and then I'm using GY7, which is my Ohuhu marker. If you're using Copics, I'd use the YG01. Mine is just dry at the moment. The YG17 I used for the little spots and the belly. And then here on the flowers, I'm just using the YG25 and YG03 for the leaves, and same with the little flower. Next, I'm going to do the orange combination, which is really pretty. It almost turns out to be like an apricot color. So I'm using YR02, YR61, and then I brought in E00 as the lightest for that. Moving on to the pinks, my favorite pink color combination are R85, R83, and R81. So I'm going to do the top, well, it's not the top, the main part of the hanger here, one of the flowers, and then I'm also going to color the star balloon that the panda's holding using the pink color combination. If you're looking for a pink Copic color combination, this one blends beautifully and, like I said, is one of my favorite. So I'm just going to add some white gel pen here to add some highlights, and then bring in my black glaze pen for the eyes and the nose. This will give it like a raised embossed effect, and you can see how it just brings those little characters to life. So here's everything colored up. You can see the little apricot elephant. And I did stamp out some little bows. I just grabbed the first stamp set I had, and it happened to be this Fawn Octopi stamp set. So this will allow me to add little bows to the babies, which I think is super cute. So here's a look at my brother's Scan and Cut doing all the magic of cutting for me, so I don't have to fussy cut out those images. And here's what I have to work with. Obviously way more than I needed for these cards today, but if you do stick to the end, I will show you an additional 3 cards that I made using up some of these extra images. So let's jump into the cards here. Oh, I'm just showing you the little hearts here in my Twiddler's Nook tray. I'll bring those out for embellishments. So here we are with card number 1. This is very similar to card number 1 from the baby boy collection. The little baby on the cloud was actually my favorite image. The girl pattern paper is really sweet with clouds and rainbows and suns. So I cut that out with a stitched scalloped rectangle die and backed that onto some of the pink pattern paper. I cut out a stitched heart just using some light yellow cardstock. I did pop that up on some fun foam. So I have the sticky back adhesive, which is great. It's already got the adhesive on one side, so you just need to add your double-sided tape or whatever you're using to the other side. So here you can see I've put my image down and I'm adding the little bow, which is just so cute. The baby stamp set for the girl collection has the babies with the bows already, but I chose to get the baby boy one because then I felt like it was more versatile. I could use them for either kinds of cards. So like I said, Jamie still has that stamp set in the shop if you are interested. I think it's really cute, and a lot of stamp sets have bows in them, so it's super easy just to add those on your own. So I stamped out the sentiment "Welcome Baby Girl," that's from the Nursery Friends stamp, and added some embellishments, and card number 1 is complete. So for card number 2, I'm just using the bunny and the elephant. This is a very similar card layout as the first one, but I just used stitched rectangle dies for these 2 pattern papers and decided to corner round the bottom left and right hand corners just for a little bit of a different look. And then this time I cut the heart out using some of the green gingham pattern paper. I'm going to stamp out the word congratulations. This is from the baby boy stamp set, and I just stamped that on to my curved banner. This is from the tag along dies by Heffy Doodle. There's 4 different banner shapes in that die set, which also has some tag dies as well. It's really versatile and I love it. I use those tags and the sentiment banners all the time. So I'm just going to add my little stuffies here on top of the sentiment, and then I decided to give the bunny a little yellow bow, which looks super cute. And then I'm going to bring out the hearts here that I colored up. And I will add 3 of these. So I'm going to use a yellow, a pink, and a green color here, just to bring out all those colors that I used on that focal part of the card with the heart and the characters, our little animals here. Just going to add a bit of my Nuvo shimmer pen, and that will finish off card number 2. So here's a close-up look of card number 3, again using some of the little stuffed animals from that Nursery Friends stamp set. So I'm going to use this really pretty yellow pattern paper with white hearts on it, and I cut that down to 4 by 5 1/4, so it leaves that edge of white from my card panel. I used the Scallop, this is the Stitch Semicircle die from Sunny Studio, and I cut that out of the rainbow pattern paper, which I think was my favorite paper in this collection. The Sentiment Sweet Baby, I believe, is from the little baby stamp set. So I stamped that onto the curved banner here. I did kind of stamp that. It's a little bit lower than I would have wanted it, but I still think it's fine, so I didn't redo it. I did add some foam adhesive to the back of my little stuffed animals here. These are so cute, the little animals. And what I love about this stamp set as well is that it's perfect for gender neutral cards. So depending on how you color them and do your background, it's great if you don't know the sex of the baby but still need a baby card. So this stamp set will be staying in my stash for years to come. So again, I'm going to add some hearts here. I'm just trying to figure out where I want them. I did have that one heart to the top left, but I felt like it just didn't sit right with the card design. It kind of created a box, which didn't look right. So I ended up moving 2 of the hearts to the right-hand side and then 1 to the left of the banner, and I like how that balances things out better. So for my balloons, I'm going to add some glossy accents as well to the little bow on the elephant, and then to the white areas, I'm going to use my Nuvo shimmer pen. How cute is that card? So clean and simple and easy to make, but the pattern paper and the images are just so sweet. Moving on to card number 4, I'm going to use the little stork with the baby in his mouth. Super cute. So I colored the little baby bag in pink, and I'm stamping congratulations again. I used that sentiment quite a bit for the cards as it was just a little bit more versatile. And I just cut out my banner with some of that orangey apricot colored pattern paper. So for this card layout, I'm using a little bit of this pale yellow cardstock, and I cut out a square of the heart pattern paper, which was also one of my favorites, really pretty. And just going to add that to my background panel, that striped pattern paper. I'm going to add the sentiment towards the bottom there, and then I'll add my little stork above the cutout there with the sentiment. So I'm just going to glue this one straight down using my liquid adhesive. I'll add a bow again to the little baby. This one I chose the pink to match her little bag that she's in, or blanket wrap. And then again, bringing in a few of those hearts just to finish off using those as an embellishment. So I am going to add 3. I'm going to add the green one to the top, and then the larger pink heart to the bottom, and the apricot one just to the right of that below it. Just using my jewel picker there, it just has a sticky end, which is really helpful to get your sequins and your embellishments in place. For the final touches, I'm adding some glossy accents to the glasses on the stork, which crack me up. And then I also added it to the little soother. I'm also going to add some Nuvo shimmer pen on this card as well, adding it to the gray hearts on that pattern paper just to give them a little bit of shimmer. So it's barely noticeable, but it just adds a little bit extra. Moving right along to card number 5, I really like how this one came out. I'm using a sketch from My Favorite Things, And I have cut out a tag die. I just wanted to show these to you. This is new to me from scrapbook.com, and it was really well priced for the amount of dies you get in that set. And they are great for making tags. You can add the little centers, or you don't need to have them. So I think I'm going to be using this die set quite a bit. So I will link that below in case you're looking for a good die set for tags. I had been looking for one for a while. I did cut out the rectangle panel here at the back using the pink pattern paper, and then here that heart paper is making another appearance. I went ahead and added some mint green. It's a really pretty satin bow with white polka dots on it. It's just from American Crafts. So I added that to the top of my tag and then sort of hung the little mobile under that. And then I'm going to place the little baby in the bunting bag, or as I like to call it, the baby burrito, over top of the sentiment. And again, just adding that sentiment strip to the bottom. I did decide to cut off some of the tails for my bow here. I need to get some fabric scissors. Let me know down below what kind of scissors you use to cut ribbons. I don't have a lot of scissors, but I don't want to use my paper scissors for my ribbons. I don't get a clean cut, so I would love to know your recommendations down below. So that's the card, super easy layout. Sometimes it's so fun to pull out a sketch and just see what you come up with. So there's card number 5 complete, and we can move on to the final card, which is card number 6. So again, a really easy layout here. I find that with the Doodlebug collections, the papers and images are just so darn cute that you don't have to overly complicate your cards. So you'll notice when I do a lot of the multiple card videos with Doodlebug, I do very clean and simple cards, and I think they turn out really sweet. I have a hard time covering up all of that really cute paper. So for me, this is kind of the style that I like to go to with these collections. So for the final card, I just cut out the background panel there 4 by 5 1/4, again, to have that white edge along the back. I use that really pretty plaid pattern paper for that, and then cut a strip going across the bottom of the card using the little pattern paper that has the little pins all over it, which matches the little pin on the baby. I did back some pink cardstock to that just to have it break from that busier plaid pattern paper at the back. I also used the pink cardstock to cut out a scallop circle, and then just cut out a white circle out of cardstock for the area where my images are going to sit. So added that little baby walking in the diaper, put a little bow on top of her head, and then had her with the little duck there. So I thought that was super cute. This doesn't necessarily have to be a baby card. I thought this would make a really cute first birthday card. So I just decided to add a little bit of cardstock to the back of the top of the circle where it's going to be hanging off of that horizontal strip of pattern paper. I did do 2 layers just because there's the cardstock and the pattern paper layer for that strip, and it just makes sure that the circle doesn't dip down on that top part. I'm just going to add the embellishments here using hearts again, and then my Nuvo shimmer pen, and that will pretty much finish off this card. I did want to add a little bit of highlight to the duck and decided to add some freckles to our little girl here. So I'm going to slow this down and show you all 6 of the cards that I made today, and stick around to the end. Like I said, I have 3 more just to show you that I created with this collection. If you have a favorite, I'd love to know which one it is. This one is pretty hard for me. I really like the first card, but I also like the elephant and the panda with the rainbows, and then the tag card. I don't know, Doodlebug makes them all so cute. It's so hard. So here is one of the other cards that I created, and I thought this one would also make a good first birthday card. Here's another one with the bathtub, and I used the scallop there to the bottom for the sentiment. And then I just wanted to make this card so I could show you how that little toy gets put together. So there's the 6 cards plus the 3 bonus cards. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Till next time, here's a couple videos for you. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye!